Alright, so here we have a Rubik's Cube, and I'm just going to go over the basics real fast so that we're all on the same page when I make some other videos with more complicated stuff in it. Most people, when they first scramble a Rubik's Cube, they try and solve one side, and that's exactly what you want to do. And the thing to realize is that not only do you have to get the whole one side looking perfect, you also have to make sure each actual square is in the right spot. We call these little squares here cubies, and notice that this corner cubie here, this red and blue corner cubie, has to go in between the red and the blue face, and if it's on one of the other corners, it's not going to line up right. And you can see this as this cube, which has the whole white face solved, but all the actual cubies are in the wrong spot. So if you were to do this right, you'd want this all to be blue here, or at least one solid color. And otherwise, you've kind of solved the one side, but you're gonna have to undo it and redo it again. So that's the first step. But anyways, I just want to make sure that we all know the terminology of cubies and everything's got its right spot. So when I solve a cube, I solve white face on the bottom and red face facing me. And that way I always know that the blue is on the left, the green is on the right, the yellow is on top, and the orange is in back. And we have notation to make it easier for when we write about what we're turning. And the notation is pretty easy. If I say F, for instance, that means turn the front face clockwise. And if I say F prime or F inverse, that means turn it counterclockwise. If I say F2, that would be 180 degrees. So, and F2 prime is exactly the same as F2. So I think that makes sense. Now, it gets a little more confusing when you talk about the other sides, because you turn them as if you're facing it. So when I say R, I mean R clockwise, as if you're facing the right side. So if we're facing this side, our inverse is counterclockwise, and that would be this way. Now when I say L, you turn L clockwise as if you're facing the left side, and L inverse is counterclockwise as if you're facing the right side. Then we have D, which is the bottom face down, and D would mean clockwise like this, and D inverse would mean like that. And then the trickiest one is the back one. And if I say B, it means clockwise as if you're facing the back. And if I say B inverse, counterclockwise. So, you know, you got to think of it like that. That's B right there. Putting the green right on top there. That's B inverse. And then we have U, which is the top side. And U is like that, clockwise. And U inverse is like that. So there you have it. You got the front face, the right face, the left face, the upper face, the lower face, D, and the back face. And that's what we mean when we give the terminology. And I think that's about it. Now you're ready to scramble the cube and solve the first layer. And we should all be on the same page. There's one other thing we should talk about before actually solving the cube, and that is the types of cubies. There's 3 different types of cubies. So the easiest one is the center cubie, and that has 1 sticker. This is the white center cubie, and there's 6 of those, 1 for each color on the cube. And no matter how you rotate the faces, the center cubie will always stay the same, and that's important to keep in mind when you're solving that first layer. The next type of cubie is the edge cubie, and those have 2 stickers on it. So this is the green white edge cubie, and notice in the solved state of the Rubik's Cube, the green white edge cubie has to go in between the green and white center cubies. There are 12 of those on the Rubik's Cube. That's the most, and that's probably the trickiest. Then there's the corner cubies right here, and those have 3 stickers on them. And there's 8 of those, 4 on top and 4 on bottom on the cube. And notice in a solved state that, for instance, the white, orange, and green corner cubie has to go between the white, orange, and green sides. One other thing is cube rotations. In one of my algorithms, I've slightly modified it from the usual, and it uses a cube rotation of X. And when I say a cube rotation of X, that means to rotate the cube so that the front face is on top. So that would be an X turn. That would be an X prime turn. And there you go. I think we're ready to get started.